What's going on, everybody? Chris, Inside the U, wrapping up a great night of football for Friday Night Lights, the Raw 7v7 showcase here at Little Haiti Soccer Park. It's already getting going for the next recruiting class, the 2024s. And one of the things that was great about this event, so they did one-on-ones, they did some drills, some good position groups, but there was a lot of talent out here, and not just local talent, but they got guys from out of state, some guys with some Miami offers, so definitely stay tuned to the channel. I'll definitely have highlights on these guys so you can see what they look like, but definitely get used to these names because you're going to be hearing about them in the next recruiting cycle. It's just right around the corner. 2024s are now firmly in the spotlight moving forward. It's January, so here we go. Let's get into the names that we saw tonight that impressed me. So there were two big-time quarterbacks in this class, two top 10 quarterbacks in the recruiting class. Julian Sayin out of California, a verbal commit to Alabama. Great seeing him out here. Great size, throws a good ball. Also, Michael Van Buren has a Miami offer, uncommitted guy out of Maryland. Great to see him down here, coming down from Baltimore. So, it was good, just kind of chatting with Michael a little bit, just briefly, but definitely there'll be an article on InsideTheU.com, some VIP stuff too from tonight's event, with all of the guys' reaction and just being down here. But again, Van Buren looked good. I had a chance to see him over the summer, so just good to see him once again. Throws a good ball. And one of the things I was watching before this showcase started was just watching him warm up. And he did a good job of just kind of moving. It wasn't just stationary throws, but he likes to throw on the run a little bit, on the move, just to get his legs into it. And I think that was a good sign. Again, good size. Definitely was good to see him out here. Once again, a couple out-of-state prospects out here, and the guys are wrapping up behind me, but a lot of talent, and I want to get right into it with the wide receivers. They certainly impressed tonight. Mazio Bennett is a guy that Miami's already offered out of Greenville, South Carolina. He was out here tonight. It was great seeing a 4-star prospect. The rankings are already out on some of these guys. So it was good to see. It kind of moves well, kind of a guy that can play in the slot, it looks like, but also can bounce outside. He made some great cuts and finished off with some good catches. Once again, plenty of highlights to come on Mazio, but just good seeing him out here. And again, for a guy out of state coming down here, and again, this is for a 7v7 showcase, but for them to come down to Miami just to get used to either guys in Miami or whatever it might be, I think that's just a good sign. Even though we're not on the campus, it's just good that these guys are getting down to South Florida, and if they play for this team, it's not officially set with the roster, that they're just getting that set, but again, this is the first step in that direction, but we'll see. Mazio Bennett certainly impressed tonight at wide receiver. Mazio Bennett was the highest rated wide receiver at the event, but there's no doubt who the best receiver, the one that impressed me the most, and that's LeWayne McCoy out of Miami Central. Not a highly regarded guy, but he's a state champion. It felt like every one-on-one rep he was winning, impressing. The fans that were along the sideline had a good time, or the other players watching him, just made a lot of plays. It's a lot of fun watching guys like that really get into a groove and really kind of be the best player out here in certain events. So he's certainly impressed. I'm curious to see how his recruitment goes. Looking forward to seeing him more, but certainly this is a good start for him, coming fresh off that state championship. But it was a lot of fun watching him, and certainly he's going to be one to watch in this next recruiting cycle. A couple other wide receivers that were down here. Brandon Witten is a guy that made the trip out of IMG Academy, but KJ Duff, he's a guy that has great size out of New York. He did a good job. Some people maybe they look at him as a tight end because I think that's what you do with a lot of guys with a lot of size at wide receiver. But look, he was running routes and using his size to an advantage. And there was a drill out here that I had a lot of fun being a part of. I was up close on this 12-yard. It was kind of some hitch stuff, and they also did some slants, some inside slants. But just seeing these guys up close on the field, getting in and out of their breaks was really impressive. Once again, this is the next recruiting cycle, but most of the time when you come to events like this, you're on the sideline or watching from the stands or TV, whatever it might be, but to be down close on the field, getting a chance to see the speed and action, it was a lot of fun, and definitely I think you guys will enjoy it too, just to be able to see how good these guys are already, even though they're young guys, they're just midway through their junior year of high school. But certainly, KJ was one of those guys that impressed me with his size, but again, I thought he ran good routes for being a big guy. You know, just kind of rounding out the 2024 class. There are a lot of younger guys. There's a few guys I'll mention with that. I don't want to overload you with young guys still to watch for because the 24s are still young, but a couple defensive backs were out here. Jaden Hardy, a safety out of Texas, a 4-star guy. You know, he was out here. I thought he did a good job for the most part. Certainly you could tell he's more of a safety, so one-on-ones can be difficult at times, but, you know, again, just on these one-on-one competitions, you can see Jaden's competitive nature, and I thought that was good. Also, before the one-on-one started, which was a lot of fun again, I was able to watch the drills. I watched some defensive back drills, and I was able to watch him in particular, once again, just kind of move in and out, and I think that was good to see. You know, I definitely think he's got a bright future. We'll see how things go with his recruitment. Another guy that was out here, all eyes on at the beginning of camp, and that was 5-star, #1 ranked cornerback in the country, Ellis Robbins IV. He was out here. He didn't participate in the event, but it was just good to see him out here. Chatted with him just a little bit briefly. He's glad to be down here in South Florida, so definitely keep your eye on him, because Miami's in one of his schools. He did make a recent announcement that Miami is one of these schools he's considering, so that's a good start. And obviously with Miami's ties to the IMG Academy program right now, getting all those guys in here from this last recruiting cycle, we'll see how that plays out. But again, Ellis Robbins IV, the one thing I can say, didn't get a chance to see him work out, but certainly the size is definitely there. You definitely like that. You could see the length, and also too, he's got some strength to him, it looks like. So looking forward to seeing him in action more. And just kind of wrapping up with some 2025 to keep an eye on, because they did impress as well. You know, 5-star #1 ranked safety in the class, and Quan Fagans is here, so that was good to see him. He was able to get out here. Also a couple receivers that you guys know, it's local guys, South Florida guys. Nashawn Montgomery, saw him in the summer. He impressed once again, had a huge night tonight, made a lot of big plays. He's certainly tough to guard one-on-one situations, and Homestead's Cortez Mills was out here as well. Once again, another highly regarded guy, a guy that Miami's offered along with Montgomery. Other receivers that were out here in that 25 class, you know, Dallas Wilson was out here. Good to see him, made some really impressive plays out of Tampa. Also Kenny Williams, Antoine Coleman, those guys were out here, as well as Kenny Williams, so those were some names to watch for. But also cornerback, a guy that I'm really excited about watching moving forward, a young guy is Ben Hanks Jr. at Booker T, a cornerback, good size, highly regarded guy, one of these local guys that definitely Miami would like to keep on board. So a lot of talent out here. I thought the competitive nature was great, just coming fresh off that Under Armour All-American experience, and these guys want to get to that point. You know, it's the next group. There's a lot of talent here, so a great event put on by the Raw group. I was glad to be out here, looking forward to seeing this team compete. The circuit gets going very quickly. There's highly regarded events coming up later this month. We'll be out there. Definitely check that out, but definitely stay tuned to the website. Can't urge you enough, because the highlights are coming on these players from this event. You definitely got to check them out. I definitely want to thank everybody for supporting the channel, and definitely the website. Plenty of information there. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you have a good rest of the day, and take care.